I found a lump in my breast at age 31, and I'm here to share my story. If I haven't met you before, my name is Kara. Welcome to my channel. I talk about all things weight loss, lifestyle, and I just want to be a normal person. And if I can inspire one person, that's what I'm here to do. So I'm here to share my story and follow along. In the summer of 2022, I was taking a shower, and I don't normally feel my breast, but that day, I decided to feel it, and I felt what I could describe as like a hard pee. It wasn't really big. It was maybe the size of my nail, but it just felt weird. I wasn't sure what it was. My breasts were small at the time, just like they are now, and with that, I was maybe 60 pounds heavier, but still my breasts were smaller, so it was very easy to feel. My mom happens to work in the mammography field, so I reached out to her, went over to her home and had her feel it, and she said, yeah, Kara, it's probably a good idea for you to get it checked out. So because she works in the mammography field, she pulled out all the stops, and so first I had to go and check with my general physician, and my general physician at the time, I really did not care for this person. I think she felt as though I was a hypochondriac because I had a lot going on. And there'll be another story I tell you too about how I found out I have another diagnosis. But she made me feel as if something was wrong with me mentally, and that I was a hypochondriac and nothing was wrong. But when I went into the doctor that day and she felt the lump, she did say, okay, maybe we should get this checked out. I'm gonna write you a referral to go go get a mammogram. And so I ended up at my mom's facility where she works, and they did a mammogram for me. Came in, you put the cape on. They said it would be uncomfortable. And I mean, I was nervous, definitely nervous and scared, but I was like, hey, it's nothing to worry about. I'm young. I don't have any other symptoms. Like, I feel fine. So we went in for the mammogram, and the lump was on my not on my chest wall, but like very close to my chest wall. So very hard to get a picture. But once they got the x-ray back, they did say, hey, we don't know what this is, so let's go ahead and get you a biopsy. That day, they wanted me to get the biopsy, but I am a fitness instructor on the side, and they said I wouldn't be able to teach for a couple days, so I didn't want to cancel my participants, and I said I'll come back for that biopsy. And also, I was trying to push it off. I was just like, I'm not interested. And of course, my mom gave me a hard time for that. But I went back the next week for the biopsy, met an amazing doctor who did the biopsy. And I'm not going to lie to you, the biopsy hurt like hell. I'm strong. I'm not going to cry. I've had 3 children. I've had my wisdom teeth pulled out. Nothing is like getting your wisdom teeth pulled out. So it was painful having somebody, like, first you're awake, and yes, they numb you, but feeling that sharp sting from like somebody pulling your tissue out, it was not fun. So that sucked. But it took no more than maybe 15 minutes. They got some good samples of it, and they sent it in for testing. Of course, when you get your MyChart notification before your doctor calls you, that is the worst of the worst. So I got the MyChart, and yeah, it was just weird, and I'm gonna post it here. So take a look at what the MyChart says. Pause it if you need to. After looking at that, I was confused. I saw inconclusive. I saw some words like squamish cells, and I'm like, what does this mean? So then you start going down that Google rabbit hole, and you're like, oh crap, like, what's going on? Am I okay? I don't know. Freaking out, waiting for a doctor to talk to you. And I really didn't know. I was a little emotional, like, damn, am I gonna die? Do I have breast cancer at 31? And one thing I didn't share with you all is that prior year, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had triple negative breast cancer. Fortunately, she was in remission the next year, so that was great. My paternal grandmother passed away from breast cancer, and several of my maternal aunts have had breast cancer. So it's not that it would have been a shock, but it was just like, I'm 31 years old. Why is this happening to me right now? I got a call from the doctor after the biopsy, and once they read the results, and they said they recommend that I go to a breast surgeon. They can't say whether or not it's cancer, or if it's not cancer, if it's malignant or benign or whatever it is, but they wanted to make sure I got it removed. So I was then referred to a breast cancer surgeon who basically said the same thing, like, listen, we don't know what it is, but we know it shouldn't be there. And so we recommend you get a lumpectomy. And at this point, I'm like, a lumpectomy, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to my small breast that I already have? What's going to happen moving forward? Do I have to get mammograms all the time? Do I have to get MRIs? Like, what's happening? And they really said until they get into my breast and remove the lump, they're not going to know. So I had a few appointments to get prepared for the surgery. One was just to take another mammogram and MRI or something of that nature, just make sure that we're good, and the margins were still the same and the lump was still the same size. But then I also had to go in to have some type of device inserted into my breast near or around the lump to ensure the doctor knew where to take the lump at. So it was some type of marker. It was similar to the biopsy. It wasn't uncomfortable, wasn't comfortable, but it was just like, yeah. So got that inserted, and then the next week I went in for my my lumpectomy. So this is the first surgery I had other than wisdom teeth, and I'm not gonna lie, it was very scary. I had my husband there with me. I had my mom who's freaking out that her daughter, who's half her age, is about to have a lumpectomy, and she just went through a lumpectomy the year prior. And it was emotional. I felt like, am I going to be okay? Am I going to be allergic to the anesthesia? Am I going to, survive this? Like, praying that it's not cancer, and just feeling like, why now? Why me? Yeah, so it was definitely interesting going into the surgery. But once we got to the surgery, made sure I didn't eat the night before. And honestly, once the anesthesia kicked in, it was like, I feel like it was in and out. They did the surgery, put me in post-op. I was fine. I kind of remember waking up and just being like, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for everything you do. I appreciate you. It was just an amazing experience that I had with the nurses and the surgeon. They were just so great. And I do have a scar from my lumpectomy. You can see it here. I don't want to pull my shirt down, but you can see it here. And when I went back to see my doctor to talk about, the lump excision and also like what was it. So it ended up being a very long name, which I'll insert here, DFSP. And so it's a rare type of skin cancer that isn't aggressive, but it is malignant. And typically it is outside of the skin, outside the extremities. So like maybe on the side of somebody's face or the scalp or like the shoulder, and it's really big. And I'm gonna insert some more pictures here so you can see. And so this lump was literally like one layer above actually being in my breast. It happened to be in more of the fatty tissue, or another layer. Like, it was so close to being in the breast, but it wasn't. And it ended up being DFSP. So thank God it wasn't breast cancer, but it was a skin cancer. And the doctor felt really good about taking enough margins to where she doesn't think it's going to reoccur in the same area. However, this type of cancer does tend to come back and reoccur. So every year I now have to get mammograms and ultrasounds to ensure that it has not come back. I did not have to go through chemo or radiation or any other type of treatment. And I will continue to watch everything and put on sunscreen and do all those things and check my breasts regularly to ensure that nothing returns. I'm sharing this story because I want everyone to take care of themselves. I want everyone to listen to their body. If something doesn't feel right, then go to the doctor and get checked out. If you don't have a good general physician, like I didn't, find another one that believes what you're saying. Go to the doctors, get second opinions, get third opinions, because let's just say I ignored it or my doctor kind of pushed it off. Like who knows if I would have actually pushed forward, and who knows if it would have turned into something even crazier. So use my story as a reason why you should fight for yourself. Use my story as a reason to cherish the loved ones that you have as well. Life is short and you never know what could happen. And overall, I was healthy. Although I was overweight, I was healthy. I was trying to lose weight. And I never thought it could happen to me, not at age 31. I hope this video was helpful for you. On this channel, I tend to post all types of like weight loss videos, lifestyle. So if you're interested, feel free to follow me. And I hope this video helped you, and continue to fight for yourself. And I'll see you next time.